what you expect to hear tonight, whatever it is, let's just make it lively. Let's keep the energy as high as possible. It's already high. I was here early enough, and I could feel that tonight was going to be an extraordinary night. Really. Um, so tonight we're going to be looking at the blessings of leadership. So leadership is not a curse. Leadership is not just a burden. Leadership is not just a responsibility. It's also a blessing. So it's an interesting thing, and I'm very excited for what I'm to hear tonight. So just to say a bit of the ground rules before we call Tolutoro for a 10 minutes introduction. Please remember to turn on your videos and make it more participatory. As many people as possible shine on their videos. Mute your audio if you're not the one speaking. And if you want to ask questions, just use the raise hand function on your chat box so that we can be able to take your question. Before we take the question, please put on your video. We will not take questions from people whose videos are turned off. We just need to see your face and also see the emotions and the temperament with which you're asking the questions. Okay, if you understand what I mean. Please remember not to eat while the session is on. Remember not to distract others, and also as much as possible to join into the meeting with your name so that we know exactly who is in. All right. And I don't know if this is the last session, but very soon we're going to be ending the free session, weekly sessions. So we would like everybody to migrate to the family group, to the business community. We would like everybody to migrate to that group, because a whole lot of stuff are happening there. This Saturday and Thursdays will no longer continue after a while. Pastor Nee will be making the announcement himself today. Okay, and remember that Nee Desire Boot Camp is coming up. Let's stay excited. We're going to be seeing some of the announcements as we proceed in today's session. So please, can we make welcome all the way from the UK, although they are on lockdown now, all the way from the UK. Let's make welcome to Tolu, as she tells us, as she introduces the topic to us today. Tolu, have you unmuted yourself?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. Wow.
Good evening.
What a great honor, Pastor Emmanuel. You know what I'm saying? I am super, super excited. I am on top of the moon this evening. It's a great privilege. Okay, Ogena, you can bear me witness, to hear this evening. I just want to thank Pastor Nee. I don't know what to say, I started bit by bit in this lockdown, and he's been holding my hands to cross. And I want to say thank you very much, Pastor Nee, and God will continue to lift you up. You have been an awesome leader. You are a fantastic leader. If that's many of us, and you've been a brother, you've been a guardian, you've been grandfather. Thank you so much. I want to say once again, my name is Tolu Odubanjo, known as Tolutoro on this platform, known as Tolutoro. It's a great honor to just to introduce this topic we are going to be discussing this evening, and the topic is blessings of leadership. Normally, when I see flyers of Pastor Nee, I look forward to it. I'll be looking what's going to happen Tuesday, Thursday, or at the top. I'm like, Pastor Nee, just know how to carve out topics, and I quickly get my head around it. What is this going to be? What's it going to be like? I just want to, quickly be thought in my own, little way. But thank you once again, sir. Before I say anything, let's just look at what blessing is. you know, the question blessing, what is blessing? I know blessing to us can be, some people say it comes in form of disguise. To me, best blessing is an advantage, is favor, is benefit, is help, is consent. I say blessing is consent too. It's help you and help you to be, it's something that help you to be, that you're grateful for, something you are thankful for. Blessing is something that added value, that's adding value to you. Blessing is something that showcases you, that you know, that guides you, that adds to you. So now marrying blessing to leadership, blessings of leadership. I'm sorry, I can't do, because it's an impromptu thing. I was just excited. I couldn't do any slide at all. I just developed some little bullet points to, because there's no time just to talk about it. And when we talk about blessings of leadership, my mind goes to without leadership in any organization, even in our home, in whatever we do, without leadership, it's as if you are in a boat, just sailing without the you know, captain, or you are in the plane just flying without the pilot. So there might be no direction, there might be no, you know, you're just there, you can land anywhere. So I look at blessings of leadership as help to motivate employees in terms of organization. With your leadership, with the leadership blessings, you get help to get motivated. You get you know, you get help into implement visions. The leadership is there to be able to help you implementing vision. This is what we are doing. This is our goal. This is how we're going to go about it. And in that, with the blessings of leadership, you'll be able to execute all you need to execute for you to be able to achieve what you need to achieve. I mean, your aims and goals and stuff like that. Then blessings of leadership to help in boosting organization morale, you know, boost your employees' morals with good leadership and stuff like that. Help ensure effective communication in an organization, in home. I just want to try and relate it to other things that are daily life. I just don't want to say organization alone, bringing it down to our home, bringing it down to everywhere we go, as far as we're in primary school and stuff like that. Let me quickly tell you a story about myself. Secondary school, when I was in secondary school, I was just a normal average student. I wasn't a bright student, despite the fact that my mom was a teacher, but I was very average. But when it comes to time to choose, the senior prefect, there is this girl. She's that nobody, everybody knows that she's going to be the head girl because she's so bright. Say it, all our result is A. But I stood out because I have some qualities in me that, you know, I know how to coordinate the junior ones. I know how to coordinate things in the library. I've always stood out. And so they called me to the staff room and they said, we're going to interview both of you. They interviewed us separately. I didn't expect them to call me. I thought they would make me a games prefect or something like that because I was good in match past. So they called me to the staff room and they said, Tolu, what will you do if you are the senior girl? So I started saying this and this, I'll make sure nobody come late, this and stuff like that. I was able to sell myself. And the same girl too, I don't know what she said, I was not in the interview. And they said, Tolu, you are going to be our head girl. And one of the teachers right there in front of me was saying, but she's not as bright as the other girl. She can't start when it comes to intelligence and stuff like that. And but he said, look, this girl is just going to be there. Even if you give her the role of leadership, she will not be able to know what to do. So I was able to make the head girl. In fact, I turned the school around. It was awesome. It was fantastic. And another thing, I found myself in anywhere I found myself, I know that I was able to put things together. And God has been so faithful. So I'd like to continue to say that if you have the leadership skills in you, it shows forth. You don't need to fight for it. People will see it in you. And I'll say it's the blessings, the aura, the everything about you, you'll be able to show it forth and be a blessing to other people. And, you know, as I was saying, it brings emotional intelligence checks in your organization. But, you know, for example, I'll say if Pastor Emmanuel is the leader of this, our community, you know, I'd like to be practical and I'd like to bring things down you know, to just relate to our normal daily activities. For example, this Pastor Niyi Adesanya community, Pastor Emmanuel is our leader there, and he's doing a lot. He's the one that will say, okay, we are doing this, we are doing that. Without him, we'll just be there, to be sincere. We'll be there, maybe we'll have had one or two issues, fighting about stuff, decision making and things like that. To have a leadership in any organization is a fantastic blessing, which bring moral support, networking, guidance on, synchronizing cash flow when needed, So has my time gone? Pastor Manuel, has my time gone? This is 17 past. So I just want to bring it to a close to say, blessings of leadership is Pastor Manuel, are you there?
Yes, yeah, I'm listening.
You're shaking your head. Type out.
No. Go ahead. You have about 3 minutes more.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So I just want to bring it to an end to say it's very, very important in any organization, in our home, in our daily activities to have leadership, because it brings great blessing to us. Like Pastor Niyi has been a blessing to us in this organization. Personally, to me, as I've said earlier, it's been a blessing. It's been awesome. It's been a blessing to me. And so I want to wrap it up and say, wherever you are, whatever you do, try and not sit back. Try and take advantage of any opportunity that comes your way to be able to showcase yourself, to be able to say, yes, I can do it. Just give it a try. I don't like sitting back at the back bench, because you won't be able to show the advantages you have. And being a blessing of leadership, it comes with a lot of advantages. It's an advantage in its own, it's a benefit. It comes with help, it comes with consent, it comes with a lot of things. So I'll leave it that way. Thank you. While we bring Pastor Niyi. Thank you so much for
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tolu. Thank you. So leadership is not just a responsibility. It's not just it's not just a burden that you have to carry. It's not just about being a father to everybody like Pastor Niyi. There's also some blessings of leadership. Thank you so much for pointing us to that fact. I hope we're excited tonight, guys. I hope we're ready. I hope we're ready to just draw everything that Pastor Niyi has tonight. You see, when a speaker comes on a platform, he's like a foam that has been dipped into water. If you apply pressure on that foam, you get more water out of that foam. If you don't apply pressure, it will just drip water, and that will be all. And the foam will be returned with more water that you should have taken. So please, let's do this. Let's apply the pressure. Let's turn on our videos. Let's get excited. Let's bring the questions, whatever it is, to put pressure on this foam to release all that it has tonight. Thank you so much, Tolu, one more time. You did an amazing job. Let's put our hands together, guys, as we welcome the one and only, all the way from Eko, Pastor Niyi Adesanya. Please, let's go to the chat room and just type our expectations. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you so much for always having my back. Thank you for all that you do. I really appreciate you. Tolu, you are a wonder. Thank you so much. Tonight was awesome. I appreciate you, and thank you because we've been on this journey even longer than probably almost everybody on this platform. We've been there. I mean, even from day one or so, probably from May or April that we started one off every now and then. So thank you so much for standing in and for taking tonight's session. I really appreciate you, Tolu. Thank you also, Tosin. And as we begin to draw the curtain on this wonderful episode, I would like to say a big thank you to everyone that has coordinated their thoughts one way or the other. Emmanuel, thank you. Femi, Adeniba, Tosin, Vera, Tolu, okay, Ogene, Thank you guys for all that you do. Thank you guys for being so supportive. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for everybody who's been here, like there's a Mr. Udofa here, Udoka, yeah. Always been there. For Olake Ferreira, I see you, thank you. There are a lot of people that are constant on this platform. My admonition or prayer is just that you guys just make sure that you join the community. That is where the focus will be right now. We've done this for over 5 months. I mean, consistently every Thursday for over 5 months, except one Thursday that we had to take a break because of what happened in Nigeria. But for every day, every Thursday, we've done this, and every Saturday, we've also done this for 5 months. 5 months. What that means is that's about, yeah, about 20 different teachings on leadership. I didn't know that I could teach like that also. So you guys actually brought out the best in me to do all this. So I'm saying a big thank you. We're going to draw the curtain on this program after the 3rd week in November. So there won't be any leadership series on the 26th, and then there won't be any money series on the 27th. So everything ends on the 19th and 18th and 20th, thereabout. Yeah. So that's that, guys. 18th, 19th, and 21st. So, guys, I would just advise us to move into the community, and then the people who've been in the community knows what they've already gained. Probably very soon we'll take a lot of stories and testimonies from people so they can know. It's just about 50,000 there, and you can even call the number on the chat room. The call, you can spread the payment because we want everybody to be part of it. You can spread the payment, and then you would be glad you did. Anyway, tonight we're talking about the blessings of leadership. Blessings of leadership. The topic came to me when I was asked by some of pastors in my church, because my church is about to be 5 years, and then they now asked me if I could take an interview to share my story on how the church has been a great impact to me. And then that was when it dawned on me that, wow, the church has really blessed them, not just the church. The pastor in the church, the senior pastor, has actually blessed me. Then I looked at my life from when I met him in 1993 and up to now, and I can see how leadership has been a blessing to me. How his leadership has guided me. How his leadership had made me have a detour in some particular junctions of my life. I was supposed to go left. I was planning to go left. So he said something and I went right. And when I went right, oh, I have no regrets. So I look at my life and I see the impact of a terrific human being. And I know that by the grace of God also, from his example, I've been able to also touch some few lives also, and I've been able to show them some direction. But Sam Adeyemi is a blessing to my life, no doubt about that. A blessing to my life. There's nothing I can say. Leadership he taught me leadership, he exposed me to opportunities, he exposed me to leadership teachings, and he just literally took me from the backside of the desert and put me under the spotlight. He practically, through God Almighty, transformed my life. Because sometimes when I go back to my hometown and I see my friends, We discuss, but I know I can't stay discussing with them for too long. We just have to sit down, we play ball together, but our level of reasoning is really different. So anytime I leave there and I coming back, I have no choice but to thank God that look, thank God I met this man. Thank God I met this blessing of leadership, of a leader in my life that changed a lot of things. And then guys, every one of us need to start appreciating that because that's where it starts from. One, you will not know, you will not be able to transfer the blessing of you leading people to people that are with you or following you if you have not acknowledged the blessing that the person who is leading you has brought to you. So that's the starting point. You must acknowledge that. You must respect that. You must celebrate that. Because it is celebrating that that you are aware of the grace that you carry, the blessing that you carry, and then you can always transfer it to the people who are following you. No wonder Paul said this, and it's so powerful. He said, be ye followers of me. I think in 1 Corinthians 11, verse 1, yeah. Be followers of me as I follow Christ. Be imitators of me as I imitate Christ. Be ye, what's it called? Let me be your example as Christ is my example. So you can see he acknowledging Jesus, and then because he acknowledges Jesus, so you transfer that same grace over there. Now let me say this. There is a blessing in leadership, the leader over you. But you must realize that there are some requirements for you to actually enjoy that blessing. For you to enjoy that blessing, they are basic requirements. I will just share some few with you, and then I'll see what I will do with you now being a blessing to people. The first thing about you getting the blessing over your leader is the blessing of leadership is for you to listen to them. Pay attention to their teaching. Pay attention to their so-called informal deliberations or discussions. You know, I've always said here that it is not the things that are thought that will change your life. It is the things that are caught. Caughd, Caughd. You catch. So you want to hang around that leader, and then you observe. And apart from observing, there's something called the environmental grace or the environmental anointing. You know, I think in Ecclesiastic there says that the race is not to the swift, the battle is not for the strong, and but time and chance happen to them. In other words, being at the right place at the right time. There's something about that, being at the right place at the right time, that supersedes grace, that supersedes at work, that supersedes wisdom. Just being at the right place at the right time. So when you have a leader, you need to start paying attention to being around them, being around their platform, listening to them every now and then, making sure that you follow the instruction, so to say, because it's in their words, it's in their instruction that you get the blessing. I always teach this in churches when I say catching the spirit of your leader, catching the spirit of your pastor. I will share this with them. That you know, the Bible says something that the spirit entered me. I think this is in Ezekiel 2:2. The spirit entered me when he spoke to me, and he lifted me on my feet. And on that verse of the scripture says, the words that I speak to you, they are spirit and they are life. They are spirit and they are life. Now that means the word of God comes with the spirit. The words that I speak with you are spirit and they are life. Now, once the word enters, the spirit enters. Once the word enters, the blessing over the person enters. So paying attention to the words that they speak, it's absolutely important for you to get the blessing of the leader. So you must take note, you must read their books, you must
cut off from you. For this
must read their books. You guys trace Vincent. Vincent, okay, thank you. Good. So just paying attention to their instruction is absolutely important. Now let me share a testimony with you guys. You may not know this. You know, it's very hard for somebody who leaves a church as a pastor not to start a church. Well, I guess probably in this country, Nigeria, that I know of, I probably am the first person that left church. He was not sacked, he resigned as the pastor, but didn't start a church. There are many people after me that have done that, but I'm probably was the first person that I know of. And how did that come to be? It was at a meeting. We were deliberating. I was about to exit. And then my pastor said, and my leader, Sam Adiemi, said, I think you are supposed to be doing what John Maxwell is doing in America and Nigeria. Now, it's a turn to me that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. It's about 2005. And I argued. I argued and argued and argued. And I took him up. The reason why I'm saying this, sir, is because you have always given me leadership topics to take. No, he said, no, no. He said, I give you leadership topics to take because of leadership in you. But even with that, I didn't even pay attention to it. I left. I got home and I was lamenting to the guys who were in my house, who were living with me. And they told me, have you checked your library, sir? That over 40%, over 50% of the books in your library are on leadership. I've never paid attention to that. But at night, when all of them were sleeping, I went into the library and looked at all the books, and I realized that almost over 40% of the books in my library were on leadership. Reverend Sam has never been to my library before. But there's something about leadership that they can see the future even before you see it. They can pick it up, know what to do. Sometimes their instructions will sound stupid. But if you believe in them, there is something that it does to you. Now, let me share a story with you. You know, there was a day a guy came to meet me. I was my lawyer, so leader and everything. So he came to meet me to advise him on what he would do because his brother was arrested based on the murder charge. And they were supposed to charge him to court the next day. That was on Monday. So he came to meet me, and then when he told me this, now at that time I didn't even know that murder was not bailable. You can't bail murder. I just told him straight on, don't worry, tomorrow when you get there, your brother will be released. He said, he told himself without saying it loud that what is wrong with these pastors? What is wrong with these leaders? Don't you know that murder is not bailable? But guess what? Went to court on Monday and they released the guy too because he's a lawyer. Now you can see now that there's something called about the instruction of your leader that you must embrace. So you can't say, okay, I'm following this person or this guy is leading me, and then there is a portion of what there's a platform or there's a product that he has disseminated information or is disseminating information that you're not part of. That cannot work. Absolutely cannot work. So that's the first thing. The second thing is ensure that there is service involved when you are with your leader. Now, we have a lot of things going wrong in the world right now. A lot of things even before right now in the world. And then we have a lot of people right there, even on social media, and I hope nobody is active. them on social media right now, derailing and castigating those who were supporting Donald Trump. And then you see a lot of write-up from young guys. I mean, it's so disheartening, it's so frustrating to see young people who don't even understand manners. And then they begin to say things like they know more of the scripture, they know more of God. Nobody's doubting that. But leave everybody with their prophecy, leave everybody with their theology. You talk to your own people. Don't go on social media and then start castigating people. You take away a whole lot from the blessing upon that person. No matter how bad or how wrong the person may be, there is a blessing upon a person's leadership. So we need to really understand that. And we need to also realize that there's something called service. There's something called service. Some people, they call it apprenticeship, some call it mentorship, some call it scholarship, but there is always a place for service and learning. You get knowledge and then you exchange it with service. And then you want to get the blessing upon the person, the blessing upon your leader, you need to serve. You need to serve. Many people don't want to do that, especially in this generation that we have in. They don't want to do that. They just want to get the best or get to move it their own way. Look, service is absolutely important. I have served, I continue to serve, and I will never be tired of serving. I will never be tired of serving. I serve the people that I call mentors and leaders in my life. I serve Professor Pat Tomi. I open doors of opportunities for most of my mentors. I give them opportunities to shine. I give them opportunity to make more money, even if it's $1 or $1. I give them that opportunity to do that. So there is a blessing on leadership that you must know how to tap into and how to get to work for you. I don't know whether I've mentioned it here before. I must have told you guys that how did I move from $500 as a coach to $15,000 in fee? How? The blessings of leadership. The blessings of leadership. I hung around somebody who was doing $10,000 meeting. I hung around him for too long that I now started believing that I can do this too. I can move to this level too. So the day I announced it, it was more like going to be, even my staff told me, don't try it, don't try it. But I did. And I got 4 people registered. Then it was even 10,000 night, I was moved to 15. Now, when I say 15, I'm not talking about a price tag. I'm talking about payment. I'm talking about payment. You know, some people have price tag. They can put a price tag on their product, but nobody's buying that thing based on that price tag. So when I say 15, I'm talking about payments, not a price tag. So because I hung around you for too long, the grace, the atmosphere was so charged that I could take it and then go and produce my own life with it. So that's one thing that you can also do. Now, also, especially if even anybody, whether they are of the same faith with you or not, you should always seek for their prayers. Or let me put it this way, seek for their blessings. Let them say a word of prayer. Let them say a word of blessing over you. There is power in the tongue. If you understand that, you will understand better. There is power in the tongue. Let them say a word over you. Let them speak a blessing over you, no matter who they are. I don't know what I've shared it here. I have some old women in my life, my aunties that I always try to visit and take care of as much as I can. And then two of them left now. They are in their 90s. Two of them left now. They are Muslims. Lord, I don't bloody care. I don't bloody care. When I'm with them, it's the blessing that I want. Whichever way they pray, it does not matter. It is convertible when it gets to me, as long as I'm acting on principle. So let them speak a word of prayer over you. Now, let me also say this, because when we talk about blessings and blessings of leadership, we need to also find out, how do you measure good leadership? How do you measure good leadership? How do you know that you are even in the right leadership circle, or the right leadership path, the person you're following? The first thing you need to realize is not just humility, not just the right one, but value. There has to be value exchange. Strong value exchange. And then value exchange is not necessarily in terms of materialism. Value exchange is actually more about your entire life changing. Your wisdom is increasing. Whenever you're with them, there is such this serenity and tranquility that comes around you. Whenever you talk to them, whenever you call them, there's just this calmness that comes. There's just this fear that dissipates. And whenever you run them, you see how they handle people. You see how they talk to people. Those things are very important. It's not just about you making money, or you building more houses, or you buying more. It's more about the intangible that is much more valuable than the tangible, because the intangibles actually produce the tangible things that we see. So, value. Now, I see a lot of leaders who take advantage of their followers. Actually, most things that people call mentoring, I won't call it mentoring. I rather see it as a commercial venture. Commercial venture. They use those platforms to enrich themselves. Now, there's nothing wrong in that, but there is everything wrong if you are the only one that is enriched and the other people are not enriched. Now, like I said, I believe we all use ourselves. Use me, I use you, God knows rest. But the problem starts when you have used me and you don't want me to use you. That's what the problem is. You don't want me to use you. Because that's what we see most of the time that we call leaders. You serve, you give all your best, but at the end of the day, you make a demand, or you make a request, or you are in a situation and this person is not even ready to make a contribution. Not monetary right now, it could even be emotional contribution. It could be moral support. That's why whenever I teach mentoring, I'm always quick to let people know that it's not what people think mentoring is. It's not what people think mentoring is. And guys, that's why I don't like people calling me coach. You know, coach, this and that. Leadership is not, coaching is not leadership. But leadership involves coaching. Leadership has mentoring, coaching, advisor, what's it called, support system, everything in that package. So when you see a lot of people and then you're wondering, what do you call this person a leader, that you're just serving and serving and serving and serving and serving, and nothing is coming from them, not even one phone call to you. And then you want to kill yourself there? Except God sent you there. But if God did not send you there, man, you need to pick up your bag and then find a way to run out of there. That is a very toxic relationship, toxic relationship. And at the same time, let me also say this. The blessings of leadership is that the people who are following you must be able to partake of the blessing that you have. They must be able to partake of the blessing that you have. I can tell people this, when we say somebody be fruitful, 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 when you look at God and then you understand what fruitfulness means, then you realize very well that being fruitful is not you amassing wealth for yourself, it's not you growing, it's not you being at the top of the ladder, because fruitfulness is not about you, fruitfulness is about the people around you. Because the fruit of a tree is useless to the tree. The fruit of a tree is useless to the tree. The fruit of a tree is only useful to the people around the tree. So that when they pluck the tree and then they eat the fruit, they can come back to water the tree so that the tree can bear much more fruit. So, what am I trying to say here? If you're leading people, we must be able to see you give them opportunities, open doors, make their life better, help them to increase. It is not just about you increasing, it is about everybody around you increasing. Actually, that is what greatness is. Greatness is just not you being great. Greatness is the fact that you have a whole lot of people around you that are equally great and doing marvelous things. So guys, I strongly believe that this is where we should be. Listen to your leader. There is a blessing upon his life. People don't just get to do some things or get a particular place just by luck or just by chance. Sometimes it is the grace and the blessings upon them. So once you understand that, then you know that this is the things I've mentioned right now, all through this evening, are the ways that you can get part of the blessing or even the whole blessing upon yourself. Now, I am a strong Christians, they call it, some call it favor, some call it blessing, but I call it all those, but I also believe in luck. There is just one thing around your leader that can give you some lucky chance. Look, the race is not always to the swift. The battle is not short. It's about hard work. Although we are praying, we're hoping that there will be a change or somehow, because when you look at what happened in America, then you see hard work, hard campaign, serious determination, hard work being jettisoned. Because when you look at the two candidates and you want to say which one of them really worked their sort out in the last 2-3 weeks, then you can see that hard work is not everything, so to say. There is an element of luck in everything. There is an element of blessing in everything. There is an element of grace in everything. Because look at you yourself, you're not the wisest, you're not the most intelligent, but you're the one occupying your position right now. How do you explain that? How do you explain that? Sometimes it's that blessing, but you must also know how to utilize, operate that blessing and push your way into corridors of power, corridors of influence, corridors of wealth, and impact and influence. You must just know how to do that. Tap into that blessing and then push it to the level that you want it to go to. So guys, that's my admonition. If you notice lately now that it is no more teaching, it's more like talk now. Let's just talk to ourselves. Let's just talk to ourselves, because by the time we're getting to the last few episodes, we don't just want to jump around. We want to say words that people can utilize and then they can change their lives for good. There is a blessing on leadership. You must know how to work it. You must know how to use it. You must know how to use it to change your situation. That's why listening to their instruction, serving them, and allowing them pray over you. Now, let me also mention this, although it's a very controversial one, but it's absolutely important. Absolutely important. For those of us who are even Christians, you need to pay attention to this. You need to pay attention to this. There's an aspect that I jumped, but I need to go back to it. Because sometimes when we talk about this, people think it's all about being selfish, but it's not being selfish, it's something that I practice. It is the aspect of giving to leaders. Now, listen to me, guys. I'm not an advocate of that. I don't ask followers for money to do this or to do that. And when I look at it, except for business, if it's more about giving things or giving money, I think I've given my followers, rather than they giving me stuff, I'm giving them more stuff than they can ever give me if you have to calculate it. So it's more from me to them than from them to me. But there is a blessing when you give to your leader. There is a blessing when you give to your leader. You see that in the whole monarchical regime, where people come and pay tribute to their king, and then based on the tribute that you pay or the homage that you pay with a gift, the man can give you a land, it can give you a blessing, it can knight you or anything like that. So if those things work those days, it still works right now. You just must be able to give to the leader, because there's a blessing. There's something that comes when you tap into it. There's something that comes with it. And then for those of us who are Christians, have you ever wondered why why Isaac took Esau to go and cook for him so that he can bless him? And then while Esau went to look for the game, Jacob went to Isaac's backyard and took a goat, killed Isaac's goat, and made the game or the food for Isaac. Now that tells you something. Isaac had food in his backyard. Isaac was not in need of food, but Isaac realizes that this thing that I'm about to do is very significant. And then for it to have the impact, this guy needs to be forced to give something. So he called him and told him, go and do this. And then the interesting thing, you need to look at this very well, guys. When after Isaac has blessed Jacob, it's okay. I said, why not just say something? Why not just say something? Why not just bless me too? But guess what Isaac said? I've blessed him already. I have given everything to your brother. There is nothing left. So, guys, if you look at that, then that should let you know that the blessing upon your leader can always be activated in life by giving to us, by giving to them, by serving them, by listening to their instructions, by allowing them pray over you. All this is a very, very, very important advice. We must be able to embrace it. We must be able to embrace it. I'm kind of looking for some people on this. Probably they joined us. I have some people to join me so that they can share some of their heart and their story, but I'm not sure they are here. I'm not sure they are here. So that's my admonition for today. So guys, the road becomes more motorable, the path becomes more clear. The journey becomes easier to understand all these principles and understand that there is a blessing on the leader that you follow. And you must not get. And again, you also must know also on how to bless the people. And how do you become that blessing to the people? Is majorly by giving them opportunities to shine, by giving them opportunity to thrive, by giving them opportunity to be seen. So if you have a platform, or if you have people following you, and then you have not exposed them, then there's something wrong with your leadership. Something absolutely wrong with your leadership. So I will stop here today, and we'll take some questions. And then if the other people join me, and then probably can also take some stories. How platform be a blessing to you as we tie it all up.
Thank you so much, sir. I've learned a lot, particularly how you conceptualize the fact that a leader is like a reservoir that has certain blessings inside of it. You need to know how to unlock it and then take some of the blessings to yourself. It's an important picture to bear in mind. And while you were talking, I was just listing some things. A leader, part of the things you can get from a leader are things like direction, prayer, and environmental grace. There are just some people, for instance, in Daystar, when Pastor Sam started the success power, a lot of businesses came out of there. That's like an environmental grace. So there are people you stay around, you notice that your integrity goes up, your discipline, your hard work, your everything, your intellect is increased. So those are some of the benefits, like moral support, emotional support, like Pastor Nee said, they will be there for you through thick and thin, and then opportunities and platforms as well. Very, very insightful, and especially how you also talked about how we will be able to tap into those things. So, guys, let's bring the question. Let's ask the question. You know, I've always had certain questions on leadership. You know, so let's raise our hands and ask the question. I like the way you said that. What's his name? Isaac was not poor. He was not. He had the goat or the ram that was killed was his own. The gas that was used to cook it was his own. Those things were his own. He could afford it. He wasn't hungry. And the Bible says, if I were hungry, I would not ask you for food. The cattle on 1,000 hills is the Lord. And yet, offering is an act of worship. Sometimes these things only make sense spiritually, but I like how you captured the fact that if you obey their instructions, appreciate the leaders, serve them, protect them, it's for me it's really insightful today. I'm so grateful for that. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Can I start by asking the first question, sir? How do you handle leadership pressure when your leader is putting a lot of pressure on you and you know that it is out of love? He doesn't hate you, he doesn't have anything against you, but it looks like he's pushing you too hard. How do you handle such situations, sir?
Well, I think what you need to do is just to develop yourself more, and you also need to know how to delegate. Delegation should be your way of managing that, because you cannot tell him to stop. You cannot ask him to reduce it. Once you ask him to reduce it, what you're doing is that, look, I'm not capable to handle what you're throwing at me. So, but you need it to keep coming. So you also need to look at, okay, this thing that's thrown at me and demand, who can I delegate it to? And you must understand delegation. And there's something I teach when it comes to, what's it called? Delegation, deadline and lifelines. Deadline and lifelines. You have to create lifelines within deadlines. How do I mean? You gave me something to do for 4 weeks. If I'm going to delegate it to Emmanuel, I can't give Emmanuel 4 weeks. I'd rather give Emmanuel 2 weeks or 3 weeks, so that I will have 1 week of lifeline within that deadline. So that if, in case Emmanuel does not meet up with the standard of what my leader wants, I can always plug it in that 1 week. But you can't tell them not to give you more responsibilities. The pressure has to be there. Sometimes, just like some of us who train our children, sometimes we put some pressure on them because we know that they need that pressure to grow. They need that pressure to grow. Sometimes you know that this is going to stress them, but you take your eyes off it because you know that that person needs that thing, needs to engage that thing, and need to overcome that thing for that person to be able to stand and to grow. So you just close your eyes. So same thing when your leader is giving you so much responsibility, he's trying to fasten or quicken your experience level, and then making sure that you pick up a lot of things before the time comes. But at the same time, you also need to know how to delegate to other people, and then make sure that you create a lifeline with deadlines.
Okay, sir. Just one more question. People are still typing their questions. Just one more question. When I was being trained as a pastor, we were 6 of us that were on that set, and then after a while, I was the only one that survived that and planted a church and continued in ministry. So my question is, the same things that they gave me, the same exposure, the same experience, the same teachings, is the same thing they gave those people. Why is it possible that two people can be exposed to the same training and yet they don't turn out the same way? The outcomes are different.
Okay, you know what? Let me just go scriptural. Unto us was the word preached as well as unto them. But the word preached did not profit them because it wasn't mixed with faith on the inside of them. So that's very important. And you know the 10 virgins, they all have a lamp that had oil, but some did not go for the extra oil. And most of the time, it's not about the teaching, it's about the mind, it's about the attitude, it's about the motive of the person that received the teaching, because it's more about your disposition to it. Now, the things I've mentioned right now, all those things about to get the blessing is very important. Now, you know what? Your leader, sometimes your leader will not live up to your expectation. As somebody lived up to all my expectations, oh no, he has not. Sometimes I even get angry. That the anger comes to, I have to talk back. Sometimes when we see one extreme, this and this and this, and then we understand. But the anger cannot go for too long. Do I agree with everything that he said? No, I don't. Do I follow all his instructions? Definitely not. Do you understand? Is it all the parts, all the things that he does, or every aspect of his life that I want to model my life after? Definitely not. But the point is that my heart is very important. The soil, my heart is very important. My motive is very important. My attitude is very important, because actually it's not the altitude they call it now. It's not about, it's not, is that your attitude that actually determines your altitude, not your intelligence. Not your intelligence, but your heart must just be right, because unto us was the word preached as well as to them. But the word preached is not profit them. It was the preach with side. And you all know the parable of the sower. 4 different soils. Even the one that was very productive had three kinds of results: 30, 60, 100-fold. So everybody can be in the same class. There could be a lot of commonality between everything. We went to the same school, went to the same class, we did everything. But our heart and our attitude towards the things that we've learned matters a lot. And our attitude towards the leader himself matters a lot. So those things are very, very important. Once you get that right, then you're good to go. Now, don't get me wrong. Do I disagree? Yes, we agree. Do we fight? Some of my leaders, we fight. Yeah, we fight, disagree, and then we agree. But that doesn't mean that my heart will be compromised towards them. Do I get angry? Yes, I get angry. Do I feel disappointed? Yes, I feel disappointed. Several times. Several times. A whole lot, even. But after all the disappointment, all the anger, and everything like that, I still come back to myself and then make sure that the heart is not polluted. The heart is not polluted, because that's very important in this game. So when you check other people, you realize that there are a lot of grumblings and everything. Now, okay, let me share this. There's a particular friend of mine that served in the same place that I served, and when he was leaving, and then when I left, I took my own official car with me. When he was leaving, they had changed the policy of the organization, and he couldn't take his own official car with him, so he had to drop it. I remember going to meeting that. No, we won't take it. Don't worry, I'll go and make a case for you. You know what he did? He begged me not to. He said, please don't, no, don't. Just the car. No, don't. Just leave it. And then I left it. And then the guy is doing tremendously well. Now, I mean, tremendously well. He didn't allow me to go and make a case for it. He didn't allow me to go and fight the leader for it, because I was already an outsider, so I could just fight. He was leaving to resigning also, but he has one of the biggest churches on the island now. One of the biggest churches on the island in Lagos. I mean, fantastic church. But then he told me, don't, because he understood the place of the heart. He understood the place of connection. So that's where the blessing flows. It's not in what is taught. It's not in what is taught. It's in the heart.
So many questions on leadership that are just popping up in my heart. But from what I understand that you said, the balance should be that, like in a husband and wife relationship, sometimes you could disagree, but you know that this spouse loves you and you love her or you love him. I think that is what should not be affected, but every other thing can be argued out. Every other thing can be discussed or ironed out. It's really a great lesson. Thank you so much. So what do you have to say about dogmatism? What between mentoring and dogmatism? Like the first Pentecostal church I encountered in Nigeria, the reason I did not go to the church was because most of the people in the church looked like the pastor. They spoke in a way, they made their hair in a way, and all kinds of things. And I told myself that I won't go to a church that will make me lose my individuality. God knows why He created me the way He created me. And for that reason, I never went there at all. So what do you think? Is that also what is the balance between leadership and dogmatism? How can a leader, I don't know if I'm capturing the question, but
Well, yeah, I understand what you mean. I understand the question very well. Now, the only time that there will be a problem with that is if the leader insists that everybody should look like him. Everybody should do their hair like him. But if, because they love him, because they connect with him, they just want to look like him, then I think that's perfect enough. And then there are some places also you go to that they just love the man. And so, and again, look at it this way. Some leaders have a very compelling personality. Not because they do it, because they have this compelling personality, you just want to be like them. Some have this passive personality, and you can be yourself and everything like that, but some have very compelling personality, very, very in your face personality, even without them telling you to wear black, because you see them wearing black all the time. You just want to start wearing black. Because you see them doing Jericho, you want to do Jericho. It's even so strong that sometimes, because you hear them mention a particular word, pronounce a particular word wrongly, you don't even see that wrong anymore. You begin to pronounce that word exactly the way they are pronouncing it. Like poverty. Poverty. It's in a particular place, a circle like that. Poverty is the right pronunciation for poverty. So that's it. It's more about, but if I tell you, you must call your hair like I am doing it, you must do it this way and that way and this way. When the people are just growing, you can do that. Because you tell your child what to do, how to go about it. These are the things that you must do that you cannot do and everything. Dress like I dress, do like I do, and everything like that. But as they grow up and they become mature enough, if you allow them make their decision, allow them make their decision, you should not be insistent. But I think that most of those people look like their leader or their pastor. They just love him and they want to look like him. And the pastor has a very compelling personality.
Okay, great. Okay, do you have a question?
Yeah, now, I noticed that people are no more asking questions. They're not asking questions on this platform again. What is happening?
What do you mean, sir?
Oh, everybody's getting tired.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I think today's topic is a bit unique for me. I'm just taking my time to download because it has to be the individuality of a leader. There are certain traits that will live with you forever. So if you're trying to find yourself, they say in leadership, before you lead yourself. So you must have your personal characteristics. You must have developed it. So we are picking certain traits to make slight adjustments. So you have to be quiet, to pick the ingredients, the most things, and adjust your leadership so that you can become better. I think you have done a very good job tonight. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Great job. Okay, Afam, your prodigal son has a question.
Well, I have come back home now, so I'm no more prodigal. I'm back home.
No more.
Mine is not a question per se. Mine is just I still want to appreciate my mentor. I have not had a one-on-one with him for over almost 7 years now. No, 5 years now. 5 years now. And I feel very bad because like I said at that time, I ran away like a prodigal son, and then Pastor Nee, I made my first money in public speaking through Pastor Nee, my first money in public speaking through Pastor Nee. And then after a while, he saw that I was developing myself. He gave me the platform to go and train First Bank. It was the biggest, it was my biggest gig, at that time. I was just growing up and he believed in me. And they said, boy, go and just go and, just this stuff at First Bank. It was the biggest CV I had in 2011. My wedding. I came to him. I told him about my wedding. He came all the way. Pastor Nee, man, that picture is framed in my house. Framed. He came all the way. Go. I'm talking to my pastor. That's my son. He came all the way to First Stack. Man, when my pastor saw that you came, my pastor said, you have this kind of contact. I said, yes, sir. I mean, you're looking like a small boy, I have contact, So I really want to thank you. I can't thank you enough. I have been naughty. I have not come to you, and I know you have love, to
Don't worry. We're good.
Okay. So I just want to let you know that I'm back. I'm ready to serve you now. And then Pastor Nee, I have also had the privilege to serve other mentors, right? And then Pastor Nee is different. He's so different. He's interested in your well-being. He's interested in your progress. He's interested in you profiting from what you are doing. So I mean, he's very much interested, in you profiting from what you are doing. I said I have sometimes I feel some of my other mentors use me because I'm more of a organizer. I can pull things together. When I pull things together, and then at the end of the day, is thank you. And at one point I was growing. I mean, I just got married at that time. I can't go and tell my wife that. My mentor said thank you. So at one point I had misunderstanding with one of my mentors who always tell me thank you. But Pastor Nee is not like that. Pastor Nee is always trying to make sure that you profit from what you are doing. I've not seen him, I've not had the one-on-one with him for over 5 years. I'm sorry about that, sir. I'm coming back. I've come back already. I will make out time after the COVID and to come and see you, and then bring my venison. Yes, I have to come my venison, such that you like. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Don't worry.
No, my brother Afam. Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, my brother Afam. One day I greeted one of my pastors and said, "Sir, I'm loyal, sir." He said, "You're not loyal until your pocket is loyal." And in the Old Testament, there's something called peace offering. So I'm the recipient. I'm the junior priest. Is the high priest. So if you send the peace offering, I will pass it over to him. Thank you so much, sir. Do you want to say something before I ask the questions on the chat box?
There's a hand up.
Oh, yes, Peter.
I just want to say to Akram that you don't have to really stress yourself, but I'm always here for you anytime, and you know that. And let me just say this also to people, that look, you cannot everything revolves only around you. They didn't come to you just because of you. They came to you also to get their own problem solved. And like I said, the people also need to know toxic leadership. They need to know people who just come for what to get from you. And I see that a lot. see that a lot around. And then even to the point that some people even use me, they get opportunities from me, and then they go somewhere else to be giving the accolades to other people. And I just cut them off immediately. And again, there was yesterday, somebody called me. There is a lady, she's a productivity coach. Yeah, please, can you give her opportunity? I said, no, I can't. I said, why? I said, I have people that are not even giving opportunity. I don't even know this girl, but this lady from the opportunity. She's not in my circle, and she's not even in my corner. That if you're not in my corner, I can't give you opportunity. I have people that I'm not even giving opportunities to yet. That will not be giving it to you. I said, well, she did coaching somewhere now, so she go there. Anybody who train her to give her an opportunity to shine or to make money or to expose her. So that's the way it is. And I'm sure that everyone on this platform must realize that everybody following you, you must allow them to shine. You're not the only one that should shine. You shine your shine, I shine my shine, all of us are shining together. Awesome.
Thank you so much. Afam, I also did yes, sorry, sir. Afam, I also did a first bank training for Pasoni in 2010, and it was amazing. When I got the check, I was happy. It was not thank you that was written on the check. There was something else written. And he came all the way from Lagos to see my baby in Enugu.
Wow.
So if he went to Stack, I don't think it's too far.
Wow.
He came all the way from Lagos to Enugu
to
see my baby. Yesterday, my wife was telling me, the way PNA is calling you these days, one day he will come and see you in South Africa. I said it's not. Thank you so much, sir. Can we take Peter Adisa? Adisa, can you please unmute yourself and turn on your video, please?
All right. Good evening, everyone. Am I on now?
Yes, you are on, but your video is still turned off.
No, okay, sorry. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why this is going off.
Okay, you can go. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, for today's lecture. And I must confess that every time I always look forward to having this meeting because there are lots of things I put down from the learnings. Thank you once again. I just have a few questions from what we discussed today. The first one, I'll take the question from the place of value exchange. And my concern when you were speaking was about when you have a leader or you have leaders who you have served with all your heart, but it seems the level of care you receive is not commensurate to your commitment. So how will you advise that I
okay, you know what? Can you, Peter, can you repeat that? Your concern, start from your concern. I lost you at that point.
Okay.
The concern is
okay. I meant that my concern is when you have a leader that you have served or leaders that you have served, but in the place of care and support you mentioned, emotionally, moral, they are not there for you. So, but you have paid your dues according to what people say. You are committed, you are serving, but you are not receiving the expected, let's say, commensurate value. What will you advise that I do? Then the second question I want to ask is, when you are a creative person or someone who wants to go out of the box in the way you discharge your duties, but you have a leader that is just, I don't want to say is not creative, but the personality just is rigid, so to say. How will I balance that? Or how will I survive in the hand of such a leader? Thank you, sir.
good. Let me start with the second question. Your creative person is rigid. Then what you need to do is to help him shine. When you're creative, make it look as if it is idea, not your idea. Always bring him into the picture. This is what I'm looking at, sir. Now you can start the conversation this way. You remember what you said yesterday. You remember the conversation we had. And based on that, I'm coming up with this. And then look at it, blah, 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 like that. So before you know what's happening, the person is seeing it as his own idea, not your own idea. And then with that, you can push most of the things that you have up to him and everything. And then if it's rigid, it's definitely rigid. There's nothing you can do about it so much except you carry him along and let him own those ideas that you are creating. Because most of the time, we try to outshine the leader, and then the way we talk sometimes just makes them not to listen to you. We have worked with most rigid people are also very insecure. They're also very insecure, and then they always feel threatened. And then most rigid people sometimes love sacrificing. So because of that, you just have to throw that carrot at them. Sometimes throw the carrot at them. Let them know, okay, good. And this is all about you. This is what you want. This is what you're talking about. Let them own it. The most important thing is that you want it to be released. You want people to benefit from it. So you can do that and get it done. And therefore, the value exchange that you first asked, giving a lot of value, you're not getting it back. What should you do? One, figure out if you are, there's some connection. There are some connections that are divine. They are not strategic, they are divine. So you must realize that is this connection specific or divine? Now, the divine one is the one that you feel that there is a spiritual connection or this thing that is happening between the two of you. The other one that is strategic, the one who looked at it that, okay, this is where I'm going. Who can get me there? So that one is based on your own strategy, your own imagination. That one, when you're not getting what you want, then you can cut off. The other one that is divine, you have to be very, very, very careful. Very, very careful, because if you rush out of there with your own brain or your own interpretation, you may miss a lot of things there. There are some times that I wanted to cut off from my leader, and there was a particular time I even made my mind. It was the 31st of December. 1st of December, I'm off. And we're now wishing ourselves Happy New Year, Happy New Year. I hugged him. When I hugged him, I felt the connection. So that connection erased every other thing, every other reservation, every other stuff that I have that is probably negative or anything about it. We erased it again because there's a connection there. And I remember then at my think tank meeting in the hotel, there was this guy, we were worshiping God as Christians, and he's a Muslim. He's a Muslim. So, and then there were two Muslims there, but it's my meeting, so this is what I want to do. This is what I feel good. And it was just there, just sitting down there, wasn't worshiping, and then it was in the flow. So I just went to meet him and I hugged him. And I told him, you are covered and we'll carry you along. You're covered and we'll carry you along. And then when I went upstage, after Kunya Ajayi has left, he started talking to me, and I apologized for that. Sorry, we did this and blah, 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 blah. But I told you are covered already. You know what he said? He said, I felt the connection. I felt the connection. That's it. That's a Muslim who is feeling, felt the connection. When you hugged me, I felt the connection. That cannot be explained. That cannot be strategized. Cannot be strategized. So figure out.
Thank you so much.
Or divine. So that tells you, except God speaks.
Divine.
Again, with the divine stuff, There has to be that. You have to be there. I keep praying. One day they will be emotionally intelligent enough to be able to reach out to you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Peter.
I think the balance we're getting here is because Pastor Nee knows the spiritual side and corporate side, which is very rare. When you see some of those guys who do motivational speaking or who just studied leadership in Harvard, when they talk leadership, you see that it's totally different. It's not balanced. It doesn't see what he explained now with divine connection. I mean, you don't study that in Harvard. You don't go to business school and they tell you divine connection. Meanwhile, these things are destiny sensitive issues that people should pay attention to. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Toko Taya has a question, but there are some questions on the chat box. Can I just read one or two of them, please, before I take Toko Taya? As somebody says, great answers to the questions. I'm so blessed to be here. And Vincent said, PNA, please, how should a leader in a family, for instance, manage the subtle rebellion of close members of family in spite of your selfless ways of life towards their good? Is there a better way and wiser way to navigate through all this and make a meaning of one's life? That is when you have close family or close relatives or close staff members, close subordinates who are rebellious to you.
Okay, one thing is that question may not be a lot specific for us to know who are they, how are they behaving, and what have you done, what's your position in the family, and then what's your disposition and your perception in the family. But this is it. Because we don't know that, I'll just answer it in a very general way. You have to draw a priority list. The people who are priority for you. Look, you can't be helper to everybody. At the end of the day, forget it. The people you have helped sometimes will come back and tell you, what's the big deal in your help? I'm talking even about your siblings sometimes can be like that. So what I would ask you to do is draw a list of priority. Who are the priority people in your life? If you're married, your spouse, number one. Well, God first, then your spouse, your children, your parents. That's the only thing, the three category of people that I see in the Bible. The other ones are fringe benefits. So you need to also let them know that whatever you do to them or do for them is because it's a privilege, it's not the right. It's a privilege, it's not right. So once you draw that, you know the people that you pay priority to and the people you don't. Now, if some people are becoming too stubborn and then they are getting your, taking away your peace. So what you do as a matter of urgency is to secure your peace. Because you're my brother doesn't mean you take off my peace and I will still be there tolerating you. No. If you take it, then I will distance myself from you for a little bit. And then when things start getting better, when you start getting to your senses, you can start connecting back. Because that's very, very important. Your peace is very important. Your energy is very important. But at the same time, draw your priority list. And if you see your spouse, then you need to see counselors. You need to sit down together and see a counselor and advise you on how to go about it, what to do and what not to do. I think that's the answer I'll give you for now. But if we have more details of who they are, where they are coming from, how are they, and then okay, so I think it's saying that first position, you're the firstborn, and then blood relation, that means siblings. Are you married? Is that Vincent?
Yes.
And Vincent is from the eastern part of Nigeria. It is a cultural, it's a cultural thing to take care of everybody. So that makes it a little bit more tougher. So when you're the first one and you're doing well. You don't even take care of your siblings, take care of your children. That is what we call in Nigeria mutual impoverishment. I mean, one person has money and then every other person depends on it. Mutual impoverishment. It's like the crab principle. A crab is trying to climb out of the basket and the other crabs are pulling the crabs down. And then you don't find any Western world. Western world, even when you are living with your mother or your father in the house, you pay bills. You contribute to the grocery. Everybody is contributing. If care is not taken, you contribute to the mortgage even. But right here, once you are doing good, you have to take care of everybody. But this is what we advise people to do. Do a budget. Priority. It is the person that has blood that can give blood. It is the man that has blood that can give blood. If you don't have blood, you can't give blood. And if you give too much blood without replenishing your blood, you won't have blood again. So you should know what you can give out and what you can't give out. So I think that will help. But if you are obligated to take care of them, may the Lord help you and give you more resources.
Amen. Okay. Okay, good evening, Pastor Nii and every other person in the house. Mine is not a question, actually. First, I want to commend Pastor Nii and this platform. Basically, Pastor Emmanuel said, I've learned a lot of balance. Actually, the first time I joined here and secular music was played, I was actually shocked because I was wondering, secular music. But the balance, and it has really helped me a lot. I've been able to see a lot more. I've been able to see life with a wider view. That's that. And I'm really, really enjoying the people. And there's this freedom. Normally there are things that you feel like, okay, I should not say, maybe because the person is a pastor, but here is different. There's some, you can actually open your mouth and talk, and you not feel like maybe you feel this persecution or something. That's one. Then secondly, please, I would like Pastor Nii to please pray for me. Yesterday was my birthday. Thank you, sir. And tomorrow is our free.
Tomorrow is your anniversary.
Yes, sir. Yesterday was my birthday. Tomorrow is
wow. I think we should pray for. I think we should pray for your husband and mom because he's spending twice this month. He's spending twice.
Yes, sir.
You should have just combined the birthday. Why didn't you combine the birthday and the wedding together one day? So that's just one dinner. Anyway, we release grace upon you. We release the favor of God upon you. We release the blessings of God upon you. In the name of Jesus, as your days are, so shall your strength be. You have increased in days, so you will increase also in strength in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Emotional strength, financial strength, physical strength. In the name of Jesus, even spiritual strength, you will increase in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
And also pray for your husband and yourself. The Lord the mind grows stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger.
Amen.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen.
This is just the beginning for you too. The Bible says one will change 1,000, two will change 10,000. So we dictate right now a multiplication in your result. A multiplication in your result. We activate it right now in the name of Jesus. We activate it right now in the name of Jesus. And we release the grace upon you. The grace to function stresslessly in the name of Jesus. Happy birthday. Happy anniversary.
Thank you so much.
I don't know how we share the cake. Even if we share the cake, how will Emmanuel get the cake? He's in South Africa. How will Tolu get our own cake? He's in Preston. And then Tolu is on lockdown.
Send e-cakes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. We'll take Felicia. Guys, I just want to remind us that coming, eh? So even if you want cow, one chicken, one ram, we will try to kill something here. We must slaughter something here and chop it on behalf of Pastor Nee. Let's welcome Felicia Ernest.
All right. Good evening, sirs. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
you. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Pastor Nee. Can you all hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can hear you.
Good evening, Pastor Nee. Good evening, everyone. Yes, I don't have much. I don't have any question. I just want to appreciate this forum. Honestly, I've learned a lot. It's just the aspect of the money. I wanted paying twice, but so many things came up. I'm quite interested. Honestly, I've learned a lot. So I don't know.
Thank you so much. Felicia, your
okay,
request.
Don't worry. Send your number to Pastor Emmanuel, and then you can have a conversation.
Right, sir.
Or send your number to
sir.
Blessing. So we can always help you see how you can spread the payment.
All right, sir. Right.
Okay. So if there's any other
Thank
person interested in moving to the community, please say now or forever hold your peace. But let's welcome Segun Awolowo.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, man of God.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, Pastor Nee. Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, I think it looks like tonight is like maybe we should call it testimony night. I mean, it's looking like everybody's sharing testimonies, and because I don't know if we will have the opportunity again to do it on the platform. Because I feel it's also looking like the platform may shut down anytime soon. So I also feel I should appreciate Pastor Nee for the privilege. I am still trying to imagine how he's been able to do it. I mean, this is growing for like almost 4 months now, back to back. And we can only pray for God to bless him. Over 5 months. I mean, it's very strange for me. My appreciation and testimony, I'll call it appreciation and testimony. Something happened, I can't remember the exact date now, when we have the think tank at the Kotel. I was somewhere on Saturday before that week when you called me for us to provide screen for the think tank. And I remember you asked, because I'm sharing this to confirm all the things that you have shared tonight, talking about honoring your leaders and giving back to them. And so I remember you asked me how much it will cost, and I could not imagine putting price on what you are asking for. So I remember I said, of course, it was going to be a privilege for us to provide that service absolutely free of charge. And I've not finished saying it before you also responded and said, you are bringing me into the think tank. And it was like, wow, this is a big honor. I mean, I could never imagine it. I looked at, even if I have charged, what would I have gotten? It could not have be compared to the value I got at the end of the day. But something happened. Something happened in the course of the program, which is where actually I'm going. I plan to call you to come and see you to share this, but I think for the purpose of those who are also on this platform, one of the participants we met that was there, had a discussion, who also wanted our service because we provided that service free of charge. And I didn't know him, I've not met him before. I wouldn't have known him, I would have met him if not that we were there, I was there. And so, to cut a long story short, we had a transaction. I mean, I'm talking about a transaction that is running to, we are making like hundreds of thousands already. I mean, just by that simple move of coming to provide free service, got to meet him, and then from that platform, we got to connect, and then he's transacting with us, and we're making something from that. So it was a double, it's a double blessing for me. God the and all business, and I can only say God will bless you. I can say, like what's his name said, he's bringing burnt offering. So I'm also saying, expect our own burnt offering too. Thank you, sir. We are so grateful. God will bless you and keep you and strengthen you more. In Jesus' name.
Sir, I see you were struggling with your earphone.
Amen.
What he was
Thank
trying
you.
to say is that he sent me something to give you.
I don't understand. Is it?
I said, I think you were struggling with your earphone.
Yeah, I was. Anyway, thank you, Shadow. If you see any screen at any of my programs, they were supplied free of charge. I said, all over with that. And sometimes I make some for some very serious demand. I want fit by this and that thing by that thing and everything, and it is everything for free of charge. So I am very grateful to you, because without you, I would have increased my budget planning programs. But the budget and the review process has always been there. So thank you so much, Evan. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being there all the time. And then we are together. Many more businesses are coming, many more. If you had told me, I would have announced to everybody. You would have told me on that day, I would have announced to everybody again that just let it be. Patronize me. We'll get to a more. Okay, you know what? Remind me at the boot camp. Remind me at the boot camp. When we get there, so that I can tell everybody that this thing was provided. If you want to get it, talk to it. Give you more money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm grateful, sir.
Okay, there's another hand up.
Yes, Deronke, can you unmute yourself?
Good evening, Papa.
Yes, go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. Hope you are hearing me.
Good evening. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. I just want to appreciate Pastor Nee for this opportunity. And I also like to join the community, but for one reason or the other, I couldn't join early. I don't know if there's any consideration and how I can do it. I will really love to benefit in this community. But I don't know, the money was an issue, but at the same time, if there's going to be any consideration, I would not mind, sir.
Okay, I think Emmanuel also you can drop. I think Leslie is dropping a number.
Yeah.
Let's pick up your number again so that you can have it. You can always talk about that. But definitely the community is where everybody should be right now. Because what we get from the community is so robust. And then the beautiful thing about the community is that even people who are members of the community are also facilitators of the community. That's the interesting thing about people. People have known for a long time they are there. They're participating and they're members. paid for the members and their participation. So we know what we want to achieve, but somehow how we will achieve it, we don't even know yet. But we're just taking it piece by piece, to get to that point where we'll be able to do much more, get our results. But definitely, everybody on this platform should be calling. Right now, the number on your screen, on your chat, hanging out, how you can be there. Because by the time you stop this, in the next 2 weeks, stop this, the community continues. The community continues. That's what we put our focus on. That's our attention. So everybody here actually should migrate to that community. And then I think it's very important for all of us.
I just wanted to say something. The community is not interested in the money. The money is not the focal point of the community. 50,000 is more compared to personally. The reason the amount there, and we even had to reduce it from $500 to 50,000. The reason we put the amount is so that we can sieve out the serious people. We can know who is serious and who is not serious, because we're doing very serious things. We are moving some strong things there. So it's not about the money. If you're committed and if you're willing to join, you're ready to, take the next step. Just call the number and express yourself and see what happens and see what happens there. Okay. So I think there's just somebody with his hands up. I can't see the hands up anymore. Yeah, Dr. Vera said the interesting thing about our community is that you haven't really missed much. You will get materials of all the sessions that you need. Very, very important. Very important. So as much as possible, that will indicate, this that they want to join, and just send a message to the number. You get more consideration than other people that will call or connect after tonight. Okay, I don't think.
Okay, who would like to be at the who would like to be at the boot camp? If you want to be at the boot camp, I may have 1 or 2 offers for you, but I'll be announcing it at the community. So you have to be in the community for you to get to know about it. I'll be announcing the offer in the community. Are we having a meeting this Sunday, Emmanuel? Are we?
Yes, we are meeting. And I was going to discuss something with you about Sundays, but I was just waiting for this weekly session, because but we will discuss it later. And I also wanted to ask that on Sunday, my wife joined me. So I wanted to ask if the spouses are also part of the community.
We won't tell you to leave your house now before so you can talk to us. So she's there, let her join you. And especially your wife. What do you want me to say? Let her join us, please.
Okay. Felicia Ernest said she would like to be at the boot camp.
Let her join the community. If she joins the community, she will hear the announcement, and then she will know how she can join the boot camp. Just join the community. Okay, guys, Emmanuel, there are no questions again. The next thing we want to talk about here is the boot camp. Boot camp 27th and 28th of November. Awesome time. Interesting, I got another speaker on board today. Her name is BC Adebayo. Bishop Adebayo is a terrific woman. Most people don't know her, but I know her very well. And if there's anybody that I can submit my marriage to, she stands out amongst the people that I can submit my marriage to. And not just that, she's a successful businesswoman, a lawyer and a successful businesswoman. And she's coming to talk about how to run your business, run the family, and manage a successful spouse. I mean, her husband also is successful. And she was at the point for many years, the leader of the Women's Fellowship of Daystar for many years, many years. So she will be right there with us, together with Tenny Adesanya. Tenny Adesanya, I should have played his, you see some of the adverts. Tenny Adesanya grew his company from 50,000 naira to 3 billion naira in the space of, is it 5 years or 4 years? And then also I have Oloshe Sunday. Oloshe Sunday is so interesting, so very interesting person that also is into a serious partnership with a friend, and they have like 7 subsidiaries of their company, and they are doing extremely well. And whenever I meet with them, because I've signed a non-disclosure agreement with them, I can't tell you the figures that they call, but they call serious figures. And then you're looking at them, wow. So we're not bringing speakers, we're bringing practitioners. You know, somebody can teach you how to be courageous. But somebody can show you, some other person can show you how to be courageous through their own courageous act. That is where the key is. It's not just in talking, it's more in explaining what you've done and get to where you've gotten to. So it's more about practical, pragmatic meeting, not just rhetoric, not just talking because of talk. So as much as you can, get on board, let us run this thing together. Courageous leadership for high-performing individuals, personalities, high-performing. You must be a high performer before you can make that move. So we're going to teach you how to be courageous. You're performing already, but you have to teach us courageous. I'll be teaching on the hurdles you need to cross to be courageous. I'll be teaching on how you can change your game. I'll be teaching also on how you can increase your energy level, how you can impact more on your energy level, generate more energy so that you can take some action, some bold action. And also I'll be teaching on how you can stay competing very effectively at the courageous level. Because look, your next level is waiting for your courageous action, not your comfortable action, your courageous action. If you're dealing with comfortable action, you stay where you are. But if you take some courageous action, that means actions that you have not taken before, actions that will stretch you, actions that will make you look, wow, what am I up to? What am I doing here? Am I sure I will survive? Actions like that that are well calculated and well thought through. Those are the actions that send you to your next level. And then you don't want to miss this one. There's so much discount on you right now. You just need to embrace it quickly, put a call to the number and discuss. 27th and 28th, a hotel, Lagos, Nigeria. You don't want to miss it. And if you have a dream, for what you call as a speaker, you want to be inspired, you want to see some kind of what you call events that you have been seeing on TV. You want to see it on ground. You want to be inside that hall. That is a program to come. So make it a time with us, and then you'll be glad you did. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We are trying for today.
Yes, we're just waiting for Kenny to play the video.
Okay, does he have video? Yeah, he has a lot of videos.
Yes.
Okay,
He played
the
video.
community video.
Yes, the community video and the bootcamp video. Kenny, are you ready?
So, they're waiting for you to play the video.
Kenny, you need to join the community.
Can you guys hear me? Can you hear?
No, we can't hear the audio.
Okay. Can you hear the audio?
To get a full grasp and judgment of your situation. Some other times, you might be stuck managing your life, business, and career. Sometimes, it might be difficult to get in managing your life, business, and career. Sometimes, it might be difficult to get a full grasp and judgment of your situation. Some other times, you might be stuck and unsure of the best way to go or the best decision to make. The Niyi Adesoya Business Professionals Community represents a virtual group of leaders and experts who will share with you knowledge, trends, and strategies to attain your life, business, and career goals. Niyi Adesoya, his associates, mentors, and partners will serve as fresh eyes that will give you strategic insight on how to totally transform your life, forge ahead in your career, and move your business to the next level. Join the community by signing up quarterly and gain access to selected private meetings and knowledge sharing sessions for 90 days. Pick up that phone and call +234 803 304 2762 now or go to @N_Adesoya to get started. Your transformation begins here.
And one of the things that we do not do most of the time is that we do not question our successes. Once you're successful, you don't question it. He said, if it's not broken, don't fix it. That is sometimes a statement of mediocrity. Because even if it is not broken, you need to investigate it. You need to investigate it. Even if it's not broken, you need to what? Investigate it. And the reason why, if you're successful, going on successful in life, and then you're not questioning your success, you may stay in that level. And there's some things that you need to question sometimes.
I think Lee is doing a phenomenal job. When he brings us together, it's not for pricing, it's commitment to see changes happen in our world today. Yeah. Thank you, Lee.
Okay. Emmanuel. Thank you, Kenny. So guys, thank you for tonight. Thank you for paying attention. Thank you for staying this long. I'm sure you've gotten one or two things. Please let us practice what we have learned today. Let us try to engage the message upon our leaders. Once you engage, get a lot of things operating with so much ease. Please don't forget also that you also have a blessing upon you. And as you meet people, also try to transfer that blessing to them. Be conscious of the grace of the anointing and of the leadership grace that you have, so you can transfer it to other people. Thank you so much for your time. We'll see you again on Saturday. We'll try to look for the what we're going to watch for our back. Thank you so much, and please don't forget to join the community ASAP as soon as you can, please, because 2 more weeks, 2 more Thursdays, and then we're shutting this down for the time being, and then we move into the community. That's what we have our interaction. That's how we grow ourselves and we become bigger and greater people. That's where we want to help you achieve your journey to becoming top 10% in your field. Top 10% in your field. And it's possible. It can happen, and it will happen. Thank you so much, Solution, for your time, for sharing with us tonight. Thank you, Emmanuel. I'm sure probably went radar. So thank you so much, all of you, for being here and for being part of this. 5 months, going to 6 months right now of discussing, and then I'm still talking, so I'll tell you. Hello, Kenny, I'm still talking. Can I have a platform, please? So thank you, all of you, for your time. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you for sharing testimony, for utilizing all the things that we've learned. And then for those of you who are not in the community, there's a way you can get our digital library. Just call all the phone numbers that we're sharing on the chat room, and you can get to know more and more about how you can be part of everything that we do right here. Thank you, everyone. So thank you. Can have the music as long as dance out. I hope we will not dance.
DJ play that happy music. Make them play that happy music. Make the baby happy music. Yeah. Make the people sing along.
Night.
Feel it in my veins, feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my liver, hey. From my head down to my toes.